Joe Torre with Todd Walker coming up, who homered his last time up. It appears that Torrey's going to go to the bullpen. So a pitching change for the Yankees here in the 6th with 2 on and 2 out. Coming out of the Yankee bullpen, and Todd Walker got a good rip at that first pitch from Heredia. As we mentioned earlier, Chris Hammond has been left off this ALCS roster, and the 2 lefties in the bullpen for the Yankees were added very late. Gabe White and Felix Heredia.
Reason for that is Chris Hammond is not deemed a guy who can get left-handers out consistently, but Heredia and White are. They're guys that throw hard and can run the ball in on the left-handed batters. Chris Hammond can't do that.
And this is a Boston lineup that features some pop from the left side. It's Millar at second. Mirabelli on at first. 2 on, 2 out. 6th inning. 4-0 Boston here in game 1. Oh-2 pitch. Nick Johnson cradles it and decides finally to take it himself. That'll do it for the Red Sox. They strand 2. They have left 6. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 4-0 Boston. Has pitched brilliantly as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. He has allowed the Yankees only 2 hits. And he misses high with ball 1. It's 4-0 Boston. Bullpen is quiet for the Red Sox. Juan Rivera takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Rivera the only strikeout tonight for Wakefield. Off the hands, back toward the backstop, and off the screen to make it 1-2. Dick Allen. He was a teammate of yours as well. I never worry about it. I just take my 3 swings and go sit on the bench.
There's more to that quote. Dick said by doing something other than that, he'd get in a slump. So he didn't want to slump. So he just went up, would swing 3 times, never come close to it, and that way he'd keep his swing in order.
Maybe he hit a home run on the 3rd swing. You never know.
He had a lot of them. 351 to be exact.
That's off the end of the bat. Shallow center. Kepler coming on. 1 out. Let's check in with Kenny Albert, who is in the upper deck.
Yes, Joe, high in the upper deck behind the foul pole. The teenager who made contact with the home run ball was sitting in this very seat. He was bombarded by reporters, so he left Yankee Stadium. His seatmate, Ed Hillel of Manhattan. Ed, what did you see?
The person that was sitting in the seat where you are leaned over slightly like this. Ball hit his hand and dropped down. If the ball didn't hit his hand, I think it would have just went right over here and everybody would have saw it was foul.
But in your view, after it hit his hand, did it glance off the foul pole?
No, went straight down after it hit his hand. Definitely a foul ball.
All right, thanks, Ed. You hear what the Yankee fans think, Joe?
Yeah, I think that's the key. Absolutely not an objective report.
No.
In the least.
No.
Ed was confident that this ball clearly would have gone foul.
It would have been at least, that'd have been 10 to 12 feet foul, I think.
Easily.
Oh, yeah. In Ed's view.
In Ed's view.
All right, Ed.
There's Ed. I did it, guys. I did it. I told him it would have been foul.
I want to know how many 16-year-olds leave when they get reporters asking them questions.
Yeah.
It's time to shine.
Jeter on deck with 1 out, nobody on. Ed looked satisfied that he had told the story to the nation.
I think he's got to check the honesty policy.
Yeah. Not so sure it was true. 1-2 pitch.
Because we all know it is the policy.
With 2 out, nobody on.
Classic.
Jeter will come to the plate.
One more shot. Now check Ed out. There's, is that Ed right
Where's
there?
he looking?
I think that's Ed. That was Ed, wasn't it? So how does Ed know whether it's foul or not? Ed's behind the pole.
No, Ed was looking at the left field foul pole.
Oh.
Come on, Kenny.
Oh, Ed, how do you do it?
Great seats, huh, buddy?
With 2 out, nobody on. That's why that kid left. He got sick of the view. Looking at a yellow pole all game.
And did.
To third, caught by Miller. Ed Hillel had absolutely no idea when he got dressed today to come to Yankee Stadium that he would make his national TV debut. Ed, thanks for joining us. Back after this from your local Fox station. Still 4-0. Miller leads it off for Boston as he takes high for ball 1. The Red Sox, when they signed Miller, knew they had signed a very good defensive third baseman. Kind of more in the category of a good contact hitter. Little did they know they would get a guy that would hit .326 with 19 home runs. 85 RBIs, a switch hitting third baseman, a very good glove man. They liked him so much they traded away Shea Hillenbrand during the season and got Byung-Hun Kim, who, by the way, got a huge ovation from the Yankee Stadium fans when he was introduced along the baseline before the game. With his history against the Yankees, both this season and a couple of years ago in the World Series while with Arizona. And as we said, Kim, who was diagnosed with a sore shoulder, is not on the roster for Grady Little this round.
Yeah, it leads one to believe that were it not for the horrible experiences 2 years ago.
Miller hits it hard, but Jeter to his left throws it over to first. Tim, hold that thought. Let's go out to Los Angeles for a game break.
I bet you can't guess what happened at Wrigley. Another home run, but wait. A fish made a splash this time. Derek Lee, his first home run of the postseason, and the Marlins are on board, starting their comeback. 11-1 top 6.
So there you go, 11-1. Another pitching change here after Miller grounded out. With Nomar coming up, back to the bullpen. Go the Yankees. It's Nelson.
Presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
We are in the 7th inning, 1 out, nobody on, and Garcia Park coming up. There is no doubt in my mind as that sits on the screen, which goes from the backstop to right below us. And somebody in the upper deck wore that in, and somebody in the upper deck didn't like the fact that somebody was wearing it, grabbed it, and threw it down onto the screen. As Nomar Garciaparra bats with 1 out, nobody on here in the 7th, 4-0 Boston. Our Sprint Virtual Manager question: are dynasties good for baseball? Our answer: 69% of you said yes. 26-time world champions are the New York Yankees, down 4-0 in game 1 of this ALCS. 1 ball, 1 strike. The numbers for Nelson, who started the season with you, Brett, in Seattle. You guys close? It sure sounds like it.
Jeff? Oh, sure. I play with Jeff a lot. What do you want me to say?
I don't know.
No, Nelson's a good guy, and he was a big part of our team for the last 3 years. And you know, they made the trade actually at the 2nd deadline. He's in the postseason. I'm not.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Garciaparra takes a pitch inside, and really he was a guy, Tim, that they let walk away here a couple of years ago, and they just never found the right combination to fill in for him. So they went out and got him back, traded Armando Benitez to get him.
Got him back, but the problem he's had, he can't throw strikes.
Swinging bunt, tough play for Posada. Good play with Nick Johnson reaching over the top to make the put out at first. Back to Jeannie Zelasco for another game break.
All right, how many different ways can Tom Brenneman call a home run? His journalistic wares are being tested, because we got another one at Wrigley. Miguel Cabrera, last time the Marlins in the playoffs, he was in grade school where you learn to count as well, and that's how many home runs we've had in this series.
Well, that's amazing. 2003 NLCS, 30 total runs scored, 45 combined hits, 27 for extra bases, 12 home runs, and An 11-2 Chicago lead in the 6th inning. Manny Ramirez takes the ball high with 2 out, nobody on.
I've been thinking about a point that you brought up several innings ago, Joe, about whether to take Mark Pryor out of the game right now. An 11-2 game in the 6th inning. I mean, after all, Pryor's only going to pitch one more time for the Cubs if it goes to 6 or 7. And I would imagine it would be either game 5 or 6, 5 in Florida, or more likely game 6 back in Chicago.
And what do you think? No, you leave him in?
I think so. Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, nobody on. Ramirez takes ball 2.
I'm sure they'll go with the pitch count, 110 pitches or 115 pitches, and then remove him.
I mean, they're probably thinking too, is there a big difference between 80 pitches or 110? They're still going to give him his 4 days.
Right, right.
I mean, there's one thing being 30 pitches and 100.
That's too far inside. 3-1. The only reason why I brought it up in the first place is he's a young guy, been over 100 pitches time after time. He had that long start against the Braves. You have a 9-run 6th inning lead. You can get him a little break, in my opinion. And I guess my opinion alone. 2 out, a base hit into right off the bat of Manny Ramirez, and David Ortiz will come to the plate against Jeff Nelson. Ortiz got the scoring started back in the 4th inning. An infield hit by Ramirez off Mussina's glove. And then after being down 0-2, Ortiz worked it full and hit a home run to the front part of the upper deck into right field to make it 2-0. And solo shots by Walker and Ramirez, and it's 4-0 thanks to the pitching of Tim Wakefield. Fastball for a strike to Ortiz.
How about the 3 hits in Manny Ramirez's last 3 at-bats? You mentioned the pitch or the hit off of Mussina's glove, and then a wall scraper in right field. It came down just on the other side of the fence. And now a jam shot to right.
After going through that division series, he will take 3 hits.
Absolutely.
No matter the shape or form.
Sure.
1-1 on Ortiz. Hit Ortiz, and they will send David down to first with 2 on, 2 out, and bring Millar to the plate. So hit by a pitch to put 2 on.
That slider slid too far. It hits Ortiz in the back leg. Better view right here. Like you hit him right on top of the left foot. Ouch.
Stottlemyre will come out and talk to Nelson as this crowd gets on Ortiz, who still isn't down to first base.
Dogs are barking.
Woof. That was good. Comes Grady Little, and they're taking Ortiz so long to get down there. The trainer and Grady Little are going to come out and check on him, although Grady says, well, I'll let my trainer go down there. I'll just stand here and talk to McClellan.
What a riveting series the Red Sox played in Oakland. They lose 2 to the Athletics, and then because of strange base running, they lose game 3 to the Red Sox. A great block of home by Jason Varitek. Trot Nixon wins game 3 with the home run. David Ortiz wins game 4 with the double in the 8th inning. And then the big hit by Manny Ramirez in game 5. And Oakland once again bites the dust for the 4th year in a row.
Here's Millar with 2 on, 2 out. And a strike on the outside corner. Grady Little is unsigned past this year. And if Grady Little has done anything, I think he's accomplished a lot of things with the Red Sox.
Already, yep.
He has brought this group together. It was never a team known for the chemistry the last few years. And this is a team that has everybody believing in one another, pulling the same way. So the atmosphere that he has put together and helped foster down in the clubhouse in the dugout is, in my opinion, a big reason why they're still playing and the A's are at home watching. They didn't quit after falling down 2 games to none as Millar takes ball 1.
It's a completely different team than even 2 years ago, as far as the atmosphere, how, just you can see it, the aura that they have about them. It's a team that has fun, and it's just been on a heck of a run.
With 2 on, 2 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Millar. Left side, off the glove of Jeter. Here comes the runner to the plate. Ramirez, no play, and it's 5-0 Boston in the 7th. Millar gets his first RBI of this postseason, and it comes on a base hit off Jeter's glove into left.
Derek Jeter separating his shoulder in the first game of the year, opening night in Toronto, and we've seen 2 plays tonight that if he doesn't make, he at least feels. He can keep that ball in front of him, but that left shoulder's got to be giving him problems, and it has throughout the second half of the season. Not an excuse, just a fact.
And now another pitching change for the Yankees, who hardly had to dip into their bullpen other than Rivera in the division series. Will use their 4th pitcher of the night. Nelson will give way to Gabe White, who was picked up from Cincinnati at the trade deadline, takes over and misses low and away with ball 1. When they picked up White, the Yankees picked up a pitcher that was on the disabled list with a groin injury. They knew he was on his way back, feeling better. They waited for him to get right, and he's been impressive. He has really impressed Joe Torre. As that hits the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike on Trot Nixon. 2 on, 2 out, a run home, 5-0 Boston here in the 7th inning. Nixon tonight 1 for 2, grounds a base hit into right. They will bring Ortiz and now hold him late, and the bases are loaded with 2 out. Mike Cubbage came way down the line and read Rivera coming up with it and put the brakes on Ortiz to load the bases.
The reason the third base coach will do that is to see if the right fielder handles the ball cleanly. If he does, you stop Ortiz for 2 reasons. He's slow to begin with, and he was hit on the left foot with a pitch from Jeff Nelson. Once Rivera fields it cleanly, Ortiz will take the wide turn, but a very slow runner with a sore foot. So,
and the bases are loaded with 2 out for Mirabelli, who's 1 for 3. Strike 1 from White. So here are the Red Sox, who are on death's door after 2 games against the A's, especially in the fashion by which they lost game 1. They win 3 in a row against the A's, and now they are on their way, unless the Yankees rally, to a 4th victory in succession.
they have had 2 base runners in 6 innings tonight against Wakefield. Yeah, that first game against the Twins, they just played shabby baseball, throwing the ball all over the plate, losing 3-1. But as this Yankee team has proven time and time again, they came back to beat the Twins. No contest in any of those 3 games.
0-2 on Mirabelli. Still 0-2. Well, to me, if the Yankees have had a tough time replacing Jeff Nelson, they had to reacquire him. The guy they never did replace after letting him walk away to the Mets is Mike Stanton. They tried with Hammond. He's not even on the ALCS roster. They added Heredia and Gabe White late. 0-2 pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Stanton ended up signing with the Mets, but for so many years, the Stanton-Nelson tandem leading up to Mariano Rivera. was very difficult for American League hitters.
Mendoza.
Miro Mendoza with the Red Sox now, but not on the 25-man roster.
Mirabelli hits one on one hop to the second baseman Soriano, and the inning is over, but not before the Red Sox come up with another. They are having fun in game one. The house at Rootfield trying to exercise some ghosts in this series. The knuckleball of Tim Wakefield has been dancing tonight. He's allowed only 2 hits through 6 innings. It was David Ortiz who got the scoring started. With a 3-2 pitch, he hit into the upper deck. The disputed home run, first called foul, then overruled by McClellan. Fair ball. It was 3-0. Manny Ramirez that same inning in the 5th made it 4-0. A run in the 7th. It's time to stretch. It's 5-0 Boston here in the Bronx.
My home, sweet home. God bless America, my home.
How long?
Sweet home.
Ronan Tynan, Irish tenor with God Bless America. As we welcome you back, we remind you the League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Budweiser. Grab a cold, fresh Budweiser. It's game time. Well, as we welcome you back into our booth, I'm Joe, that's Brett, that's Tim, and you have to look at the job done by Tim Wakefield. I mean, theoretically, he could pitch at any point in this series. Grady Little telling us before the game he will use Wakefield along the same lines as how he used Derek Lowe in that first series. He will not use Lowe out of the bullpen in this ALCS, and the job he's done allowing 2 hits. Red Sox lead 5-0. This is a big opportunity for Boston.
It is very, very impressive with Derek Lowe going tomorrow night and then Pedro Martinez starting on Saturday.
Yeah, I think and with a guy like Wakefield, now you have him because we talked about it earlier. He can pitch. He can just pitch and keep on pitching. So you have him in to fill the role that Lowe has done in the first round.
Speaking of Tim Wakefield, he has faced the Yankees 4 times this year, and every time he's faced the Yankees, his mound opponent has been Roger Clemens. Clemens won his 299th game against Wakefield on the 21st, and Wakefield denied him victory number 300 on the 26th, and then he faced him in late August and late New York, 2-2, or early September, beg your pardon, 2-2 against the Yankees this year.
Derek Jeter has been a part of this rivalry since the second he got to New York, and here are his thoughts, what it's like down on that field when these two teams get together.
The rivalry, I mean, it's second to none in all the sports, I believe, and it's fun. I mean, this is going to be a fun time. Yeah, everyone says, you know, we played them towards the end of the year. Does it get any bigger than that? Well, yeah, it does, and this is it.
And this is it. And so far, it's 5-0 Boston. Bottom of the 7th inning. And the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Yankees coming up. Giambi, Williams, and Posada. Well, if Suppan and Arroyo were warming earlier just to get some work in, the bullpen is serious and active and getting ready for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 7th. That's high for ball 1.
There is a big difference in pitchers warming up in the 5th inning, particularly when your team's way ahead, and warming up in the 7th. They mean business now.
That's in for a strike, even though Mirabelli didn't catch it, and the count 1-1. Giambi 4 out of 18 in the postseason. 2-1.
Surprised everybody. A fastball to Giambi.
Alan Embry and Mike Timlin getting loose. balls and a strike.
I would imagine he'll get another fastball. Good hitting situation right here.
A leadoff walk. A game break while we play in the bottom of the 7th. Back to Los Angeles.
And in the immortal words of Greg Maddux, chicks dig the long ball. So, ladies, we got more trouble in Chicago. Alex Gonzalez did the damage. Second of the game. 13 home runs in this series. 12-2 Cubs, bottom 7.
Jeannie, thanks. Here, this crowd is starting to climb into it with Bernie Williams at the plate. After the first walk of the night is issued by Wakefield to Giambi.
I think if you're sending Embry into the ball game, Grady Little looking at Dave Wallace, who took over for Tony Cloninger as a pitching coach in mid-season. I think you send Mirabelli out there and talk to him.
3-0.
Yeah, you want to slow the game down. I mean, Embry's ready, but if you're going to bring him in to pitch to Posada, you want to make sure he's ready.
Two on, nobody out.
8 out of 9 balls, and that's going to be it for Tim Wakefield.
You've got the switch hitting Posada, followed by the left-handed hitting Matsui. And it'll be the lefty Embry. The Yankees making noise in the 7th, down by 5. Well, the Boston Red Sox could not have hoped for anything more out of Tim Wakefield. He allows no runs, 2 hits. But with a 5-0 lead, the first 2 hitters have reached on back-to-back walks, and here is Alan Embry. And he will turn Posada around and make him bat right-handed. With fans in New England holding their breath, Posada, who's 1 for 2, steps in. Center field base hit. Kapler able to cut it off. 1 run scores. They're going to hold Williams at third and an RBI double by Posada.
Not only an RBI double to score 1, but to push Yankees to third and to second respectively with nobody out. Fine play by Kapler to keep this ball from going to the wall. Giambi scores easily. Williams to third. Posada with a double. And the ghosts of Yankee Stadium come alive.
Terry, I've seen them. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like Yankee Stadium. I've seen those ghosts more than enough, more than my fair share.
Second and third, nobody out. Matsui takes the ball. Wallace, the pitching coach, is going to come out and talk to Embry, who is missing high.
Every pitch has been around the letters, even the one Posada hit.
While they talk on the mound, we remind you Major League Baseball is giving away World Series tickets for life and other great prizes. Winning hologram numbers will be announced during games 1 through 4 of the 2003 World Series on Fox. Visit your neighborhood Radio Shack store for your chance to win. From game 3 on, the Boston bullpen in the division series against Oakland went 9 2/3 innings, allowed no runs on 2 hits. It's second and third with nobody out here in game 1. 5-1 Red Sox, 2-0 on Matsui. A little flare into left. Manny Ramirez will haul it in and flip it into third. It's a 5-2 game on a sac fly by Matsui. Now it's Aaron Boone.
Excuse me, Joe. There's a situation where if you're going to have them score a run, a sac fly to left field is not the worst thing that can happen, because you kept the runner at second base.
Boone is 0 for 2. Runner at second, 1 out. The left-handed hitting Nick Johnson on deck. Ball 1.
You had second and third and nobody out, and you hit the ball to right field. You not only score the runner, but you move the runner from second to third base. Now Posada can't run, bottom of your screen. Williams does, but there's 1 out with a runner on at second base.
Two and 0. Aaron Boone is 3 out of 17 in the postseason. Boone hit 18 home runs in 106 games with the Reds and 6 home runs in 54 games with the Yankees. Shallow center. In comes Kepler. 2 out.
Oh boy, Gabe. I thought it was interesting, Gabe Kapler raising his right hand when nobody was around him. Perhaps thinking about the Damian Jackson collision the other night. Watch the right hand go out, and there's nobody around him.
Well, that's a big out for Embry. They kept him in there because of Nick Johnson, the left-handed hitting first baseman, being in the on-deck circle. And now the Red Sox get lefty on lefty here, as the Yankees have scored 2, trailed by 3 in the 7th. One way or the other, this is most likely Alan Embry's last hitter of the night. Ball 1.
Well, if Boston brings in the right-hander, you may see Ruben Sierra hitting with runners on. Sierra, a switch hitter, and can counter Grady Little, bringing in the right-hander.
One and 1.
That was his best fastball since coming in.
center field, tailing to Kepler, and the inning is over. The Yankees come up with 2. Good work by Embry to limit the damage into the 8th. 5-2 Boston. Back to Yankee Stadium, game 1, 5-2 Boston as we move to the 8th inning. Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, and Brett Boone with you. It's 11:01 on the scoreboard clock. Gabe White is back to the hill, and his first pitch is high to Gabe Kapler. Hitless tonight. Gabe to Gabe, and a fly ball into right field. Back is Rivera for out number 1. Tonight's game summary is brought to you by Nissan. Great start by Tim Wakefield tonight for the Boston Red Sox. He ends up going 6+, allowing 2 runs on 2 hits. Mike Mussina, 5 2/3. So knocked out in the 6th inning. Walker, a home run. He has 4. And again, Ed still thinks it was foul. Had the guy in the upper deck not touched it. That's Ed Hillel, who we talked to a little bit earlier. And Ortiz and Ramirez have also gone deep. First pitch is high to the man who hit the home run. And Ed is an instant star.
All right, Ed.
Somebody's got to be telling him he's on. Here's a 1-0 pitch. 2-0 the count.
Teenager leaves, Ed becomes a star.
The story at 11:30. We understand that he's doing a radio interview right now, so he is an instant star.
He's on Rome.
Here's a 2-0 pitch. Outside, 3-0. Mike, the Mad Dog, and Ed.
What's he saying? You know, I was just there, and you know, I happened to catch it out of the corner of my eye, and clearly a foul ball.
Here's a 3-0 pitch. It's a strike to Walker. On deck is Miller. It's 5-2 here in the 8th. 3-1. Up the middle, Todd Walker in that leadoff spot is homered and now singled tonight. 1 on, 1 out. Miller coming up. You've got Miller now, and then Garciaparra and Ramirez, and there is action for the Yankees in their bullpen as Jackson will pinch run for Walker. So they'll add to their defense and get maybe a touch more speed on the bases. Damian Jackson. Damian Jackson, who was part of that collision with Johnny Damon in center field, game 5 on Monday night, takes over, and then will go in and play second base. Contreras is getting loose for the Yankees in their bullpen.
Damian has a slight laceration over his right eye. And there's Contreras.
Contreras did not appear in that division series against Minnesota. That's low. Ball 1 to Miller.
It's interesting looking out at the Red Sox bullpen, and Juan Rivera leads it off the Yankees in the bottom of the 8th inning. I think Grady Little's going to perhaps send Embry back out there. And who would you rather face, Juan Rivera or Ruben Sierra?
1 on, 1 out. Miller takes strike 1. So Mike Timlin is ready. He is another big reason why the Red Sox advanced. The job he did out of the bullpen. And then Scott Williams. And even today you read quotes by Grady Little, the manager of the Red Sox, saying we played 167 games and we still don't have a closer. In the same situation we were coming out of spring training. Williamson right now, you would think, though, would be the guy until further notice, even though he walked the only 2 hitters he faced on Monday night in the 9th inning in Oakland. quiet Yankee Stadium waits for a 1-1 pitch. Jackson took off too soon. The throw down. He is out. 2 out. Caught stealing 1-3. 4 or 6.
Yep, 4. Soriano. Look at Nick Johnson. The throw is perfect. Throw's got to be on the inside part of the bag, and a second baseman gets inside in a situation like that.
Yep.
So it is Soriano taking the throw. Perfect throw from Johnson. And it's 2 out, nobody on, with Miller waiting for a 1-1. Two and 1. If the Red Sox do hang on and win this, the Yankees will be asking pretty much the same out of Andy Pettitte, who goes in Game 2 tomorrow night. Same thing they asked of him in the division series against the Twins. Miller pops it up, and that will send us into the bottom of the 8th. It will be the number 9 man, Rivera, at least his spot due to lead off, then Soriano and Jeter. It's 5-2 Boston here in New York.
Series on Fox is brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. By Bristol Myers Squibb Company, Hope, Triumph, and the miracle of medicine. By Expedia.com. Don't just travel, travel right. And by Subway. Good, so you don't always have to be. Subway, eat fresh.
Damian Jackson stays in the game. He plays second base. No surprise there. And no surprise on the mound for the most part. And then it's Mike Timlin.
I wouldn't have done this. I would have left Alan Embry in the game to pitch to Juan Rivera. You know, it may be a moot point if Sierra makes an out, but I'd rather see Embry pitch to Rivera if I'm a Red Sox fan than Timlin pitch to, or I beg your pardon, Embry pitch to.
Well, I think
right, that's right.
I think they're figuring they got a 3-run lead. Worst scenario is Ruben hits a home run. They've still got a 2-run lead. I think if it was a different situation, they wouldn't want him up there with runners out there.
So that is the matchup. It's Timlin against Sierra, with Soriano and Jeter to follow. If anybody gets on in the inning, Giambi. 5-2 Boston, bottom of the 8th. And that good Mike Timlin fastball, 94 miles per hour for strike 1. There are the numbers for the much maligned bullpen for the Boston Red Sox. That missed the outside corner, 1-1. Something off, and the count's 1-2.
Sometimes what appears to be an off-speed pitch is just a fastball gripped tighter.
BP fastball.
Yeah.
Timlin has Sierra set up, and a line drive caught by Millar. 1 away. And even though he doesn't get on, Tim, your point is well taken. Ball hit hard, but right at Millar.
Yeah, a lot of things that managers have to think about. You're trying to play the probabilities as much as you can. Embry would have only faced Rivera anyway, because Timlin most certainly would have come out to face Soriano, and Joe Torre now out to talk to Tim McClellan. I think to check Timlin for something.
So whether this is gamesmanship or if there's something maybe it's the necklace, who knows. Timlin's getting a smile out of it.
He's allowed to wear that cap, by the way.
He is. That's regulation cap. But whatever it was, I mean, that really wasn't much of a check.
Those pitchers, they all cheat.
That's, yeah. There you are, back to that.
I'll tell you that. I don't like those guys.
With 1 out, nobody on. A fastball for a strike. Remember earlier in the year with Roger Clemens going after win number 300. The Boston Red Sox complained about that glove that Clemens said was issued by Major League Baseball that had that patch on it, commemorating win number 300 before he got it. A few weeks later, a few plane tickets later, a few luxury suites purchased later, Roger Clemens finally got it back here on a Friday night against St. Louis. Soriano chops it. It's 1-2. We go back in time. May 26th. Looking for win number 300. And Grady Little and the hitters thought it was distracting, so he took off the commemorative glove and got the old one. And didn't get the win. But whatever it was, Joe Torre went back and had a little chuckle about it. And Timlin didn't appear to be bothered by it at all. With 1 out, nobody on, a 1-2 pitch. 2-2. On 2-2. A high fastball, 2 out. Let's check in again with Jeannie, who's busy in Los Angeles.
Oh, yes. Mark Pryor, by the way, avoided the rosin police, but he could not avoid Dusty Baker. Get the kid Cubby out of there. He went 7, gave up 3 runs on 8 hits in his first LCS start. 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, 116 pitches. I could go on, and I will. 11-1 since coming off the DL. Impressive. 12, 3 Cubbies, top 9.
Jeannie, thanks. Dave Beers took over. They're in the 9th inning, 12-3. So the Cubs on their way to evening that series at a game apiece before it goes to South Florida. Here's Jeter. Derek 0 for 3. That's high ball 1. With 2 out, the base is clear. There's more action for the Red Sox in their bullpen as Jeter pops it up. Right side, Millar gives it a look. More great work from Mike Timlin. He comes in and has a 1-2-3 8th inning. The Red Sox in the 9th will start it with Garciaparra. They lead the Yankees by 3. Who pinch hit and lined out. The bottom of the 8th stays in to play right. And dealing with Garciaparra, Ramirez, and Ortiz is Jose Contreras. First year, and it was actually the Yankees who outbid the Red Sox for his services, prompting Larry Lucchino, president of the Red Sox, to term the Yankees as the evil empire. That's where that started this year.
I think the Mariners were in on it too. We lost.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, when you get into a bidding war with the Yankees and they really want somebody, they're going to get it. And they got Contreras, and I think, Tim, if you're Joe Torre, you know, this is an opportunity to see a guy who didn't pitch in the division series.
Right.
And see what you have. I mean, you've got spots available to try to get the ball in the hands of Rivera as this series wears on, and this is kind of an audition for Contreras.
That's one of the reasons for his effectiveness. That split finger fastball that is so elusive, darts one way and then another. There it was again.
And a quick and easy out as Garciaparra strikes out.
Wicked splitter. from Contreras. After Larry Lucchino had said that the Yankees were the evil empire, then George Steinbrenner came back and fired the second salvo, saying that Larry Lucchino was a chameleon, saying that he was a chameleon because he changed colors being in San Diego.
Ramirez sticks the bat out and gets a base hit into right.
When he was in San Diego, of course, San Diego, a small market club. Boston Red Sox, a big market club. So George's point was that you can't be a small market guy and now all of a sudden come to a big market and take the other side.
Right.
One way or the other.
The other side of the quote, though, that you never hear is when he said, the Yankees are the evil empire and I want to be Princess Leia. That was the weird part. 1 on, 1 out, a base hit by Ramirez, and David Ortiz is at the plate. Dun, 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 dun.
I don't get into that upper management rigmarole.
Yeah, right. For a rebuttal, we will patch you into Seattle, where the brain trust of the Mariners have something to say. 1 ball, no strikes on David Ortiz, who hit a home run for the first runs of the night. Contreras made him look bad. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jose, 1 earned run in his last 17 innings pitched down the stretch. The action on that ball.
Yeah, as you can see, very little spin. That ball darting down in out of the strike zone. Very few effective split finger fastballs are ever strikes.
I would say none.
But long, strong fingers right there. Woo. Mr. Splitty does what he wants it to do.
What he darn well pleases.
That's on Mr. Splitty.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Ortiz checks it, it squirts away, and Ramirez was ready to run. Good base running by Manny Ramirez, and he's down to second.
Very good base running. If you're not ready on the balls of your feet, body moving towards second base, pass ball is not the type that you would normally take an extra base.
It is a wild pitch, but Ramirez was ready, and now a hit could add to the lead. Ortiz strikes out, 2 out.
Before the game, I told Brett Boone, I said, I'm glad I'm here. If I had one choice, I'd want to be here. And Brett said, not me, I'd want to be down there.
I'd rather be on the field.
Absolutely, understandable too.
Well, Millar is at the plate with a runner at second, 2 out. You see the final at the bottom of your screen. So the series is tied 1-1, and it's Mark Pryor, second-year stud for the Cubs, who comes up with a victory. Home runs all over the place. And that series will go to South Florida for the weekend. By the way, as we said, coming up after the game, your late local news, except for those of you on the West Coast. Contreras digging after that ball in his glove.
It's working. He's going to another one.
Kind of an interesting shot, really. I mean, when you consider the Yankees had Timlin take off his hat for whatever reason before that last pitch, that ball was in his glove and he was digging on it.
But usually when they throw the split, they're going to dig on every pitch so it throws the hitter off. He's not going to just dig when he wants a split. He's going to dig on the fastball and just adjust the grip once he gets it in his glove.
On 1-1. Stays inside, 2 balls and a strike. I was going along the lines of scuffing it or something, doing something to the baseball.
I already told you.
They all
do it.
You're convinced?
No. But I'll tell you what, it's easier to get away with than a hitter.
2 balls and a strike.
Not if you're Sammy
Yeah,
Sosa.
see, I mean, that was just coming. That was right down 6th Avenue. Sosa went deep tonight for the Cubs. Who did? 2-2. We look ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, and it will be the heart of the order.
This is the first time
Williams and Posada. This is your first look at Contreras?
This is the first time I've seen him, you know, especially live. We didn't face him all this year.
His 2-2 pitch. He struck out the side. So if that was an audition, he passed. And we go to the bottom of the 9th inning of Game 1. It'll be the big bats coming up for the Yankees, who trail Boston by 3. From Grady Little saying we don't have a closer after 167 games. Well, if that's the case, it's interesting that Williamson is out on the mound right now, as Robin Williams imploring this crowd to make some noise here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Well, I mean, from a Red Sox standpoint, if Timlin's throwing the ball as well as he would, why wouldn't he be allowed? He threw 11 pitches in retiring 3 pretty good hitters, Ruben Sierra, Alfonso Soriano, and Derek Jeter. And now you bring in Williamson. I mean, it's a little late to start establishing a closing pitcher, don't you think?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Williamson is coming off that 9th inning, Game 5 in Oakland, when either tired or charged up, he walked the first 2 hitters and it threw it all on Lowe, who came in and did a phenomenal job to end the game and get the save. But there are the numbers combined with Cincinnati and Boston.
When Scott came in the game on Monday night, he was high with everything. Obviously, the Yankees watching that game, and I would imagine Giambi will take a strike in this at bat.
Williamson does not have a save, regular season or postseason, as a member of the Boston Red Sox. And against the heart of the order with a 3-run lead, here we go. With a big shift on in the infield. Ball 1 high. In for a strike. It's 1-1.
It's a good time for a bunt, isn't it?
Almost every time Giambi hits, it's a good time for a bunt.
Palmeiro.
The left side of the infield wide open. The Yankees need base runners, but I'm sure it's not even a thought. And a fastball is blown right by Giambi's bat. It's 1-2.
That's a pitch that Jason Giambi has not been handling for the last month. He cannot catch up to the high fastball.
Set up at 1-2. Something other than the high fastball, and it's still 1-2.
One of the reasons for that is you have to have a faster bat to hit the high fastball. The low fastball, you drop the bat head on it. The high fastball, you have to speed it up a yard.
On 1-2, Giambi takes ball 2. You would think Williamson would be doing Giambi a favor, giving him anything but that chest-high fastball.
I think so.
The Yankees looking for a spark. Still 2-2. If the Red Sox hang on and Wakefield gets the victory, It would be 11 years between postseason victories for Tim Wakefield, which is tied for 4th in the all-time list for the longest amount of time between postseason wins. You get the feeling we're a long way from that. 2-2 pitch. Giambi leading off, takes ball 3. Got him on the inside corner, 1 away.
That looked like a slider.
It was.
3 runs up and you throw a 3-2 slider. That gets a lot of left-handers. Man.
The only question was Mirabelli going to pop up and throw it into left field? He was going to throw it around the horn, look down there, and the only guy he was looking at was Manny Ramirez. His third baseman Miller was out by second base. Here's Bernie Williams with 1 out, nobody on. The Red Sox 2 outs away from a huge Game 1 victory, leading by 3. And a ball sinks low and away. Red Sox got on the board first. 2-run shot by Ortiz in the 4th. Solo home runs in the 5th. A single tally in the 7th to make it 5-0, 5-2 after 7. And now a 1-0 to Bernie Williams. As we play in the bottom of the 9th, it's 1-1. Williamson on 1-1. Hard hit right at Millar on 1 hop. 2 up, 2 down. A matchup between these two franchises and the rivalry that is among the fiercest in all of professional sports. The curse and everything else that's gone into it. Sold here for the 1920 season. The Yankees have gone on to win 26 world champions since then. And the Red Sox, of course, have not won one since 1918. They would love to eliminate that sentence here in 2003. It's uttered year after year, postseason after postseason, as a strike. It's the inside corner to Posada. No doubt an advantage to New York getting the extra rest. Boston has to be worn out going coast to coast. Using Pedro Martinez, Derek Lowe in Game 5. Losing Johnny Damon in that collision, and yet here they are leading 5-2. 1 strike away from a victory here in Game 1. High and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Since '96, the Yankees have been involved in 5 LCS series, and they have lost a total of 7 games. A 1-2 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, the Yankees have lost in the division series back in 1997 to Cleveland, and then last year to Anaheim.
With the bases empty, 2 out, a 2-2 pitch. Full count. Since divisional play began in 1969, the Yankees have been in the ALCS 10 times and have lost the ALCS only once to Kansas City in 1980. We have a long way to go in this series, but the Red Sox could take a huge step forward with a win here tonight. 3-2 pitch with 2 out, nobody on. Mussina checks his swing. Foul ball, and it's still 3-2.
'80, by the way, that was the year the Yankees won 103 regular season games. Dick Hauser, the manager, and he was fired after the season.
Another 3-2 pitch to Jorge Posada with 2 out in the 9th. Another foul. Wakefield gets the win. He'll be 3-3 in his career in the postseason. Mussina staring at a 4-4 overall record in the postseason and an 0-2 record this year. It's Derek Lowe and Andy Pettitte tomorrow night. And then Clemens and Pedro Martinez on Saturday. That is on the inside corner, and the Red Sox have taken game 1. Tim Wakefield going 6+ innings, allowing 2 runs on 2 hits, and the bullpen picks up where it left off from game 3 of the division series against Oakland on. Boston's won 4 in a row, and they win a big game 1 here in the Bronx.
Big pitching performance, Tim Wakefield, but Alan Embry coming on with runners on at second and third and allowing only 1 Yankee run, and that plugged the gap.
Yeah, I think you summed it up. I think, you know, Timmy came out and did everything he was asked to do and more, and they got a couple big home runs with Ortiz, Manny, Walker.
And now a famous foul pole down the right field line. People are taking pictures with an inanimate object.
And Ed is still
kissing
there.
it.
And that's Big Ed still hanging out there.
Is Ed up there?
Oh.
No, he's hit it.
He's got Regis in the morning.
Regis and Kelly Ripa with Ed Hillel. Let's check in with Kenny Albert, who is down on the field. Kenny.
All right, thanks very much, Joe. Tim Wakefield, very superstitious, does not want to step on the ALCS logo. How gratifying for you, Tim? 11 years in between postseason victories. You were left off the ALCS roster 99 against the Yankees. How gratifying?
It's very gratifying. You know, I just feel blessed to be a part of such a great team that we have, and to be able to start game 1 of one of the hugest rivalries that there is in baseball, and to come away victorious. You know, our team did a great job. Our offense came through, and it was unbelievable.
You guys have gone coast to coast now 4 times since the beginning of the postseason. Red-eye flight from Oakland. You landed 8 o'clock yesterday morning. Are you guys just going on adrenaline?
Yeah, I am anyway. Tell all my friends, don't call me tomorrow morning because I'm going to be sleeping in. So I'm just excited that we got this first game in and we won, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
You allowed only 2 hits. Did you get the sense the Yankees were getting frustrated by the knuckleball?
I don't know, maybe. I was just trying to concentrate on getting the first out of every inning, and you know, when that happens, it makes it a little easier, and my offense made it a lot easier for me tonight by scoring 5 runs off Moose.
All right, Tim, congratulations.
Thank you.
Tim Wakefield, the game 1 winner. Joe, back up to you.
All right, Kenny, thanks, and thanks for your help here tonight. My thanks to Brett Boone and Tim McCarver as they continue to look at that right field foul ball. That'll be here tomorrow night, and so will we. For Brett Boone, Tim McCarver, I'm Joe Buck. Coordinating producer of Major League Baseball on Fox, and the producer of today's game, Michael Weissman. The director is Bill Webb. Tape producer Aaron Stoikov, and as always, our thanks to Steve Horn assisting us here in the booth. The associate director, Kathy Hunt. The broadcast associates, Eric Billigmeyer and David Duvall. Jerry Steinberg, the VP of Field Operations. Our technical producer, David Hill. So, we push on to game 2 tomorrow night. It will be Andy Pettitte against Derek Lowe, and we hope you tune in on Fox. Red Sox take game 1, a final of 5-2. So long from New York.